going back to my childhood, apart from my obsession and professional training in games, and then also loving computers, the other thing I was fascinated about was all the biggest questions. So I'd voraciously read both sci-fi but also biographies of the great scientists and books on them. Richard Feynman was one of my all-time heroes, and I'm just sort of was fascinated by, perhaps you could say obsessed by, the biggest questions, and obviously things like the nature of reality, nature of consciousness, unified theory of physics. So physics was my favorite subject, but when I was reading some of the greats like Feynman or Steven Weinberg, Dreams of a Final Theory, I sort of maybe took the opposite inspiration from some of those books, which was that tremendous progress had been made. Many of the people here who affiliated with the Institute in maybe the 40s, the 50s, 60s, and so on. But actually, if you look later, in the 80s and 90s, had we made much progress towards this unified theory? And maybe the people would disagree with me in the audience, but I actually felt from reading Steven Weinberg's book that we sort of hadn't. It was a little bit disappointing relative to the amazing work that had been done in the early part of the century. And then I was thinking through why that is, and I was thinking, even if you were very lucky and you studied hard, and maybe one could do the sorts of things that one could only dream about, being someone like Richard Feynman or with his genius. And even yet, there was still so much we didn't know, or we wouldn't be able to know, even with those kinds of minds working on it. So I sort of thought, well, maybe a better option would be to build a tool that could help us and help the best scientists in the world, including myself, make those discoveries.